So the first one is, I'm not smart enough to fill in the blank. This is a scarcity script, right? The second one is, it's too late to try something new, right? You think that you missed the moment, right? The third script is, if I fill in the blank, this is what's going to happen. This is where you become a fortune teller, right? Which you're robbing yourself of the future because you don't know what you don't know, right? And then the fourth script is, I don't have enough resources, money, time, fill in the blank. Again, it's another scarcity script. You think you don't have enough. Well, Tony Robbins says, our generation's biggest need is not resources, but resourcefulness, right? You need to be resourceful, and you can get those resources. And the fifth script is, if I do blank, people will judge me. And this is the most insidious, right? Because this is where we let the fear of what other people would think dictate the decisions we make. And we give our power away to everyone else, because our obsession with their thoughts actually end up controlling our lives and our decisions. So what we do then is we identify, some of those those lies we tell ourselves. So the first step in the process is C, right? So like I said, it's clear thinking. So call out the lie, number one. What we have to do here is actually identify what that is that we're believing. So you might write down, the story I'm telling myself about blank is, and then write it out. You might say that I'm just an angry man, or that I'm too far gone, or I've missed the moment, or I'm never going to be in shape, or, you name it. Now, it's not a truth, it's a tape, right? We need to hit stop on that, because otherwise it'll just keep playing. And so we call it out. Second step is L, locate the source. Now, this is where we identify where this came from, right? We look to the past. So you might write the phrase, the people or situations that have started or reinforced this are, and you answer that, right? Now, it might be a high school bully, it might be a spouse, it might be a parent, a boss, you name it. But it's important that you name the source, because when you name the source, you can break its power. You understand what I mean? And then the third step is E, right? Evaluate the cost. Now, this is my favorite step. This is where we ask the question, what has living by this lie cost me? Has it cost my peace? Has it cost me my marriage, the respect, my confidence? And so you might write the phrase, the results I'm getting from telling myself this lie, or the results I'm getting by living by this lie are, and then you answer that, right? Now, it's important to feel the weight of this, not to shame you, but to get leverage to change it, okay? Now, the fourth step is A, right? Affirm the truth. Now, this is where we flip the script, okay? This is where we write a new statement that's more true than the other lie that you've been believing. And you might ask yourself in this step, what else could be more true than the story I'm telling myself, right? This forces you to get curious about where it came from and what could be true. So, for example, for me, I was always told, you're not the smart one, right? That's your older sister. You're going to be an alcoholic just like your dad. And so those were the narratives playing on in my head, right? And so my reinforcement statement was, I am an intellectual, I am of sober mind, and I have much to offer this world and those I love. And it was certainty-based language. It was present tense. Notice I didn't say, I hope to be an intellectual. I hope to be sober. I hoped, it was like, no, this is who I am. So I affirmed the truth. And then the last step is where we get real tactical. This is where we don't just say it, but we live it. I know as a fitness guy, you're going to love this. But the fifth step is reinforce with action, right? So the question becomes, what's one action that you can take this week to prove this new belief to yourself, right? And that's the key. And so for me, when I was writing, I'm an intellectual, I have much to offer the world and those I love. Well, what does an intellectual person do? Read books. That's one thing. That's all I knew. So I'm like, okay, well, I should start reading. And for me, the ultimate step was to launch the podcast, because that was the ultimate test. Because if I believed that I didn't have anything to offer the world, well, I'd find out real quick if I launched the podcast and nobody listened. And so it was a bold, courageous step, but that was a really significant step to reinforce this new truth that I was writing with action to say, no, that's not who I am. I'm going to pull that past into alignment with where I'm going. So I'm going to launch this podcast. I'm going to actually start sharing this with the world.